Another week and another Wednesday classic involving the league leaders. We've got 8 more matches on the way for you tonight. Alan Shearer and Danny Murphy are full of the joys of spring, and it's still only February. So with Liverpool drawing in midweek and facing a trip to Manchester City tomorrow, Arsenal had the opportunity to make up some ground when they took on West Ham at the Emirates. Commentary comes from Conor McNamara.
Today, everyone wrote us off, but we in there never wrote ourselves off. We always know that we can win any football game. And we knew coming here today, we had that mentality that if we'd done the right things without the ball, we'd get our chances going forward.
We lacked a lot of precision, a lot of quality, repetition of positive actions to have momentum during the game, and we're at the level that we need to play the way we want to play, and that's first of all me responsible for that. We've got a situation where when Mas gets sent off, it gets even tougher, and we made some adjustment. We still try and push it, but we never find the way to score.
Still a long way to go, still many points to play for. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. We have to make sure we learn from this.
Graham, big smile on your face after that?
Yeah, there has to be, of course. Massive 3 points for us. Really committed performance. Thought the players were amazing. Tactically very disciplined. And the players, whilst not being perfect, were close to it in terms of their intention, in terms of their effort, in terms of their understanding what we're trying to do. Really, really good.
Yes, certainly not Arsenal's best day, but we must give West Ham a lot of credit. They were outstanding.
They were absolutely sensational, West Ham, from start to finish. Everything they did, they were disciplined, they were organised, both defensively, and every single player put a shift in. It wasn't backs to the wall stuff. Nope. They played in the right way. They hit them on the break when they could do, because they had the pace of Wan-Bissaka and Bowen and Kudus. Not for the first time that Wan-Bissaka got down that right-hand side. Then they look at the men they actually get forward and commit forward. Yes, when they had to do that and get men behind the ball, they did that. But it's as I said, the will to fight, the will to defend, get in front of balls like that. They had men behind the ball there, and on this occasion, this is the goal. They're defending really well. Cresswell makes a perfectly timed tackle to win the ball there. But just have a look at Bowen, have a look at Wan-Bissaka, where they start from. Bear in mind, this is the goal. The way he drags it forward, Bowen, then follows it. Great work from Wan-Bissaka down the right-hand side, the way he carries the ball forward. Not only that, then puts a quality ball in. So Bowen started on the edge of his own box, finishes up in their 6-yard box and gets his reward for that. Another really, really important goal. Tadiba, 1v1, had to do defensive work. They did that, no problem at all, and got rid of it when they had to. No problem kicking it long when you've got to do that again. And I said it wasn't just those 3 who I've mentioned. Everyone put a shift in when they had to win the ball, and so unlucky not to get on the end of that one as well. They deserved their clean sheet. And when Kudus had to do his bit, keep hold of the ball, late on in the game, bring people into the game, they did that as well, and it was a really, really important win. First clean sheet under him, and it was really deserved. Arsenal, I thought, were flat and weak, particularly in forward positions. Had a really off day for them. Yeah,
the red card probably finished them off as well, but we think it was the right call.
It was the right call, yeah, it was a call that VAR got right. The referee didn't give it, which, OK, you can sort of understand. And that sort of typified Arsenal today, getting caught on the ball. But Saliba's not. Raya is the goalkeeper, so if Kudus wins that ball and goes forward, which he will do, he can have a free shot at goal. So, correct, the referee gets sent to the screen, and eventually they get to the right decision. It was without doubt a red card.
Yeah, I think we're unanimous on that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they've had a few bad ones this season, but that wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, Arsenal have got their injuries, particularly in forward positions, and you can see that with a lack of potency in their play at times.
Well, I think it's inevitable, any top team missing 4 of your forward line, especially your first choice front 3, and they had Odegaard missing for a certain period of the season. You're going to be lower than you've been on these numbers. But for me, Gary, the bigger problem's been the discipline. They've had 5 sendings off, which is more than anyone else. They've dropped 10 points in those 5 games, which is that's the gap from them to the top. So people are talking about the transfer window. He should have signed him, and he should have signed him. Fair enough. But the bigger problem for Arsenal this season has been discipline. That's a huge amount of points to drop.
Yeah. Let's have a look at just the top 2. We don't want to give anything else away. Is it done?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think so, mainly because I don't see Arsenal winning all their games. So Liverpool can have the odd hiccup.
Yeah.
And Liverpool have only lost one.
Yeah.
When they play badly, they still pick up points.
Okay, well, perhaps not bother for the rest of the season.
Early retirement
Shut
for
off
you.
now. Early. Getting early. Aston Villa were back on home soil 3 days after that draw with Liverpool against Chelsea, looking to bounce back from last week's 3-0 defeat at Brighton. Guy Mowbray is your commentator.
Really committed performance. Thought the players were amazing. Stuck to the task really well. And delighted for them and the supporters, because it's a big win for us.
What pleased you the most about the performance?
Well, it was just really committed. Like I said, really committed performance. Tactically very disciplined, and the players, whilst not being perfect, were close to it in terms of their intention, in terms of their effort, in terms of their understanding what we're trying to do. Really, really good.
Yeah, very painful. First of all, congratulate West Ham for the victory, and from our side, very disappointed. I think for big parts of the game, our performance level wasn't nowhere near what we had to do to beat them in a convincing way. And obviously, there were other factors during the game that made the game a bit more difficult, even with 10 men. Then we tried desperately. We really put a lot of effort and energy into that, but we lacked a lot of precision, a lot of quality, repetition of positive actions to have momentum during the game, and we'd never managed to do that today.
Yeah, disappointment's clearly written across Mikel Arteta's face. It's the first home loss for Arsenal since April. How big a setback then is that for their title hopes?
That's massive. Like you can't hide the fact it's huge. I mean, that would have been a game after certainly the result in midweek, Liverpool versus Aston Villa dropping 2 points. They would have looked at this game against West Ham and thought it's a must-win. It has to be a must-win at this stage of the season. The fact you leave the Emirates at home with nothing, I think that's a huge blow. And you start looking forward now. Can they recover the points that the deficit they are behind Liverpool? I'm not so sure all of a sudden.
Yeah. And let's have a look at the winning goal, really, from Jarrod Bowen, who started and finished the move for his 50th league goal.
Yeah, he did, and I'm trying to figure out where a lot of the Arsenal team is, because Wan-Bissaka gets the ball at his halfway line. Long way to go. They do get back. I think Calafiori, for me, has to do better against a fullback, but I think Wan-Bissaka's in amazing form right now. But the ball in to Bowen, that's the man you want to find. And he's diving header, he just makes sure he hits the target and it flies in, but he goes in there untracked, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I mean, it's the only place the ball can land, and it does. And even if you look at it from a bigger perspective, Jarrod Bowen doesn't sprint once in that build-up. He plays it out to Aaron Wan-Bissaka and almost just trots through the middle of the park. No one picks him up. No one goes, well, hold on, who's got that runner? And I said, it's a fantastic ball from Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but defensively from Arsenal, it's a really poor goal to concede.
And their job in the second half, Arsenal's that is, to turn things around, got even harder, of course, when reduced to 10 men. And what about this from Miles Lewis-Skelly? I mean, there's no arguing, I suppose, is it? I mean, his second red card this season.
No, I mean, obviously the first one we know wasn't a red card. This one, it is a red card, because the next touch from Kudus, he can even have a shot at goal. And I think David Raya's position in this situation is key, because if he wants to, Mohamed Kudus, he could shoot a goal because David Raya's way out of his goal.
Yeah.
But for me, right, it's definitely a red card.
Oh yeah, 100% a red card. I feel sorry for the young lad. I think he's got to move the ball a lot quicker. He doesn't do so. Kudus pounces on that, and the man that he sees red again this year. And I think for him, it's the lesson he's got to learn as a young player. I've been there in a position as a young player and been sent off, and it's not a nice feeling.
5 red cards. You said that one's been rescinded, the first one, of course, for Lewis-Skelly. But you look at the 5, that's 2 more than the next highest in the Premier League. And the results, they've only managed to win 1 of the 5. What do you take from that, Darren? And to be honest, you know, if you are going to pick Liverpool, surely you need to show more mettle, more character.
I think character is a big word, because if you look at, certainly in the majority of those red cards, it's petulance. And there's no excuse for that. Kicking the ball away, when you know the rules at the start of the season, if you kick the ball away, you're going to be booked for it. And I think the worst part about it is a little bit naive. When you're on a booking yourself and then still make that decision, that's where you can't forgive that. But Arsenal again this season, they're going to have to learn. They're going to have to keep going to the very end, hope for a bit of luck. Can I see that happening in Liverpool dropping that many points? I really can't.
To Goodison Park next, as 2 sides in contrasting form went